Welcome to Sundays with Amber. I'm Amber. For today's practice, you'll need 2 blocks and maybe a blanket to sit on. Take a seat or lie down. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. And today's reading is a poem from Bob Hickok called Calling Him Back from Layoff. I called a man today. After he said hello and I said hello came a pause, during which it would have been confusing to say hello again, so I said, "How are you doing?" And guess what? He said fine and wondered how I was, and turns out I'm okay. He was on the couch watching cars painted with ads for Budweiser, follow cars painted with ads for Tide, around an oval that's a metaphor for life because most of us run out of gas and settle for getting drunk in the stands and shouting at someone in a t-shirt, "We want kraut on our dog." I said he could have his job back, and during the pause that followed, his whiskers scrubbed the mouthpiece clean. And his breath passed in and out in the tidal fashion popular with mammals until he broke through with words, "How soon, thank you, oh my God," which crossed his lips and drove through the wires on the backs of eons. As one long word, as one hard prayer of relief meant to be heard by the sky. When he began to cry, I tried with the shape of my silence to say I understood, but each confession of fear and poverty was more awkward than what you learn in the shower. After he hung up, I went outside and sat with one hand in the bower of the other and thought, if I turn my head to the left, it changes the song of the Oriole. And if I give a job to one stomach, other forks are naked. And tonight, if a steak sizzles in his kitchen, do the 7 other people staring at their phones hear? Well, there's a lot here in this poem. There's 2 things I want to point out. The phrase when he says, I understood, but with each confession of fear and poverty was more awkward than what you learn in the shower. And how standing or being on the phone or being witness to vulnerability and emotion, it can be an awkward experience. But how in yoga, when we're on our mat, the reflection on our mat is that we deal with facing the awkward, whether it's an awkward position on the mat, an awkward emotion or a feeling that we're deciding or we're practicing observing. We're not ignoring it. So when we do this on the mat, we are able to face the awkward and the uncomfortable off the mat and how necessary that is in connecting with ourselves and with other people. And the second thing I think stands out to me is the shape of our silence. Okay, so we deal in paying attention in our practice to the silence, and within the silence, there's still so much happening if we observe. So we're not looking away, we're not distracting ourselves, we're allowing ourselves to look directly toward and observe directly whatever it is that's coming up for us. So our mat is a place where we are allowed to feel our feelings and to validate it, and how that can be reflected off the mat when we are in relationship with other people. So today, as we practice, can this be a mutual intention of standing and observing and being with our silence and our potential awkwardness in some of the postures? Sitting on a blanket or the floor, extend your legs out into a straddle, and then keep your right leg in the straddle shape, bend your left knee into kind of a butterfly shape. Flex your right foot, inhale, lift your hands to the sky, and as you exhale, place your arms out into a T position, palms up like you're holding maybe 2-pound weights in each each hand. So there's a little bit of like a resistance happening. Take a breath in. And then when you exhale, float your left hand to the floor and sweep the right arm over into like a seated side stretch. Inhale, come back up, palms up like you're holding those 2-pound weights. Exhale, place your right hand down and float over to that side. We'll do it one more time each side. Inhale, float up to that T. Exhale, left hand down. Lean your head back in space just a little bit. Inhale, come on back up. Long breaths. Exhale, right hand down. Sweep over to the side, head back in space. Inhale, flow up, switching. Exhale, twist toward the bent knee and place your right hand on your left thigh, your left hand back behind you. Lift your chest. Take a breath in. Keep the twist, but look forward. Okay? Taking a breath in. And then as you exhale, turn and look back. It's that subtle turn and switch of the gaze, of the perspective. How that can change your experience of the posture just by switching the placement of your head. Take one more breath. Inhale, float your hands back to the sky. Slide your hands to your heart as you exhale. And we'll switch sides. So you'll stretch your left leg straight now and bend your right knee in that butterfly shape. Rise your hands up on the inhale. Exhale, arms to the T, palms up, 2-pound weights. Deep breath. Exhale, float the right hand down, sweep the left arm overhead. Inhale, come up. Exhale, switch sides, lean your head back in space. Inhale, come up. Smooth breaths. Exhale, float over to the side gently. Long movement. Inhale, come back up. Exhale, flow over to your left. Inhale, come up. Switching sides on the exhale, twist toward the bent knee. Place your left hand on your right knee, your right hand back behind you. Keep your twist, look forward. Notice how that feels. Inhale. And then exhale, turn and look behind you. And how has that kind of maybe changed an experience of the posture? Just from like what you're seeing, by where you're turning your gaze, but also in your physical body, how that changes, where maybe you feel the posture. Okay, inhale, lift your hands to the sky. Exhale, slide your hands to your heart. And come onto our hands and knees. So if you need a blanket, you can put the blanket now under your knees. Just unfold it a little bit, perhaps. So if it's like really folded, you might want to just fold it a little bit. And bringing the knees to center and together. Inhale, lift your hands up. Now, as you exhale, place your hands at your hips and step your right foot out so that your knee and your foot are intersecting. Move the foot and adjust so that happens. Inhale, lift the hands back up. And as you exhale, arms to the T, palms up like we did seated. Deep breath in. Exhale, flow over to the left. Take your hand on the block or the floor. Lean your head back in space. Now on the inhale, try to use your core. Go really slow as you lift up. Exhale, slide your right hand to your right leg as you lean over to that side. Inhale, float back up. Exhale, flow over, go really slow. Stay there, shift your weight towards your left hand and lift your right leg up. Flex the foot. Press down through your left hand to kind of lift up through the right hand a little bit more. Take a deep breath in. Bend your right knee and kick back and grab the foot. You can also use a strap and lasso the foot there. Now push the foot back into your hand. Draw the heads of your shoulders back and lean your head back in space. Deep breath in. And deep breath out. Stretch the legs straight. Inhale. Try to use your core to lift out of this. Come on up. And then release your hands. Step the right knee in and the left foot over. So we'll just switch like that. Intersect your knee and your foot. Firm the leg. Rise the hands up on the inhale. Exhale, arms to the T. Making these breaths and the movements. Inhale. Exhale, float the right hand over, sweep the left hand overhead. Inhale, control through your core, lift up. Exhale, float over to the other side. Inhale, sweep the arms to the T, palms up. Exhale, right hand down, float the left leg up. Stay there for a moment and press your right hand down so much that you can almost lift your left hand a little bit and widen the collarbones. Deep breath. Bending the knees, an option, clasping the foot or using a strap or a blanket around the foot to grab. Kick your foot back, draw the shoulders back, and lift your chin just a little bit. Deep breath. Kick the leg straight, inhale. And try to use your core, pull the navel in to direct this movement up. Okay, and then release your hands, step that right knee in, and we'll come onto our hands and knees. So table pose. You'll place your blanket off to the side for right now. And then place your hands under your shoulders and your knees under your hips. Point your toes. Inhale, reach your chest forward. Exhale, round your back through cat right to child's pose. On your inhale, you'll come up to a seat, slide your hands back behind you, lift your hips, and look to where maybe your wall and your ceiling meet. Inhale, lower the hips, slide the hands forward into child's pose. And take an extra exhale there. Now inhale, bend the elbows, kind of slither forward like a snake onto your belly, lift your chest, cobra. Exhale, back to child's pose. Slide your hands back behind you, lift up, inhale. Exhale, child's pose. Keep your hands there. Inhale, slither forward like that snake, lift your heart. Child's pose, exhale. One more time, slide the hands back behind you. Lift your chest, lift your gaze, inhale. Child's pose, exhale. Hands stay there. Inhale, slither forward, cobra. And exhale, table pose. Curl your toes under, shift your hips back and up, downward facing dog pose. Bend your right knee, press your left heel down. Switch sides. Plug your whole palm down, so the perimeter of your palm, press down like a suction cup. See if you can almost push your hands down and forward as if you could almost pull the mat forward away from you or push the mat forward away from your feet. And wrap your outer upper arm. So in a sense, your upper back widens and your armpits turn to face each other. Hug your upper arms toward each other as you lift your sit bones toward the sky. Deep breath. Open mouth, exhale. Walk your hands back. Come to a forward fold, back of the mat. Grab your elbows, your head hang. Notice your breath. And notice, observe the shape of your silence. Slide your hands to your shins, lift halfway, inhale. Exhale, fold forward, touch the floor. Inhale, float all the way up to standing and grab your right wrist. So you'll grab your right wrist, bring your feet together, take a breath. Exhale, shift your hips to the right and then lean your hands to the left. Okay, leaning your head back in space. Option to step your right foot behind you, to crisscross it behind the left leg. Squeeze your inner thighs. Lean your head back in space and then lean into this a little bit more. Take a breath. At the same time, inhale, lift your hands, place the foot next to your left one. Exhale, grab your left wrist and then lean the other way. So hips are going to jet to the left, hands to the right. And then option to slide the left foot back. Crisscross it behind you and then squeeze your inner thighs together. Lean your head back in space and then allow the hip to jet to the left a little bit more as you reach out toward the right with your hands. Take a breath. At the same time, inhale, step the foot in, rise up, and exhale, place your hands down by your sides. Grab your 2 blocks, and we'll keep them in our hands. So with your 2 blocks, step your feet out, holding on to the short edge of the block. Right? Step the feet out pretty wide, and then turn your left toes in 2 inches, turn your right toes straight out. Arms to a T, take a breath. And as you exhale, hook your right hip back so much that maybe your left hip moves forward as a result, and then place that block to the floor for triangle pose. Lift your block to the sky in your left hand. So it's kind of mimicking that 2-pound weight, but it's probably, depending on your block, it might not even be a pound. Right? But that resistance, that lifting up, try to press the hands in opposite directions. Hook your right hip back and then lean your head back in space and maybe look up to that block. Take 1 more breath. Now use your core, pull the navel in, inhale, rise up. Exhale, right toes in, right heel out, left toes turn toward the top of the mat. Inhale. Exhale, hook your left hip back and then allow the right hip to turn forward a bit. As you reach out, put your hand to the floor on the block. And then the other hand is reaching up. Press away the 2 blocks. Keep hooking your left hip back. Lean your head back in space. Maybe look up. Last breath. And then using your core, pull your belly in and then try to lift up through the core. Yeah. Turn the toes in, heel, toe, the feet together. And you could put the blocks right out to the side for right now. Step to the top of your mat. Inhale, lift your hands to the sky. Exhale, cactus, your arms pull down. Lift your chest. Do that one more time. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, pull down. Inhale, reach up. Fold forward on the exhale. Bend your knees so you can touch the floor. Take a deep breath. Slide your hands to your shins. Lift halfway. Inhale. Step back to table pose. Exhale. Lift your left hand up. Inhale. Thread the needle. Exhale. Place your ear or your left ear on the floor or a blanket. I'm going to grab the blanket or a block. 1 deep breath. Inhale, come back up to table. And as you exhale, let's kind of shift your hips from side to side. Reach your right hand to the sky. Inhale. Exhale, thread it under. This side might be different. You might need a higher prop under the head or a lower. Can you breathe with awareness in your rib cage? 1 more. Inhale, come to table. And when you exhale, jet your hips to the left, push way back towards your left heel, and then inhale, swing to the right and come back up. And then go the opposite direction, shift your hips to the right, all the way back, and then to the left. Inhale, come up. Exhale, left, push back. Inhale, right, lift up. Exhale, right, push back. Inhale, left, rise up. Coming to your seat like you were in the beginning. So taking your legs out to a straddle, keeping your right leg straight, bend your left knee. Bring one of those blocks over and place it on the inside, any level. You could also do 2 blocks. It's up to you. And you might know when you come into the posture, place it on the inside of the right leg. Okay, twisting towards your bent knee like we did earlier. Take a breath. To reach your left hand to the sky on the inhale, take a breath. Now keep the twist, slide your hand to the block. Keep the twist and then start to bend your elbow and rest your elbow on the block as you lean into this side stretch. Keep twisting, keep turning, keep reaching all the way from the left sit bone. Last breath. Now use your core, come up really slowly. Place your hands on your knees, palms up, and observe the silence. Okay, second side. Okay, so you'll switch your legs, right? Right knee is bent now, left leg is straight. Take that block or blocks, combination of blocks to the inside of the leg. And take your twist toward the bent knee. Take a deep breath. Reach your right hand to the sky. Inhale. And exhale, keep the twist. Place your left hand on that block. Keep your twist. Inhale. And then as you exhale and kind of lean over, palm up, as you rest your elbow, keep the twist. I think the tendency is to turn down, but use the blocks up higher so that you can keep the heart open toward the bent knee. A deep breath in here. A deep breath out here. Use your core, come up, hands on your knees, be still and observe. Come into a cross-legged seated position. Fold over your legs. Relax your jaw and breathe. Walk your hands back. Switch the cross of your legs and just do the same thing. So walk out. That subtle shift of awareness of having the different foot in the front. Walk back, place your hands on your thighs, sit up tall. Your eyes can be closed or just look down. Meditate at your heart so you can feel your heartbeat as a way to bring your awareness there. Visualize your breath moving around your heart. You can also visualize a pea-sized gold and white light like a candle flame right at the center of your heart. And sitting with yourself, observing whatever comes up. Can you watch it without grasping toward one thought in particular? So you might see it come in. And as you see it come in without grasping or thinking the thought through, come back to meditating at the heart. Just remembering that, perhaps, the shape of our silence and what the poem is really suggesting is that we are not only the caller, but we are the called, and we are the ones waiting for a call. In a sense, sometimes we feel so separate, but actually we are all connected if we listen. Place your hands at your heart. If your eyes are closed, flutter them open. And have a really nice day. I hope that this practice allowed some movement in your life and a little extra peace. Thank you for joining me today, and I'll see you next week on Sundays with Amber.